How are you surviving? COVID, weird times.
Weird times. Surviving well. I mean, we've been fortunate. So it's obviously it's been a wild ride for the entire planet, but
Yeah,
we're doing okay. We're doing okay.
good. How's Jess?
She's great. She's
Yeah.
great. She's chilling out. Uh, you know, diligently being the teacher and dealing with this on that front. So it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, she's whether she liked it or not, she's an essential worker.
Yeah, and a lot more respect this year. It's funny, a lot of a lot of parents being real cool and understanding. Like, man, y'all have a tough job, so it's I don't know, bittersweet
Yeah.
at the most.
She's probably glad to be back at work though, a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you guys still
I
in
think.
Florida?
Yep.
Oh. It's yeah, you guys are doing all right over there.
Yeah, I will say that like nothing really changed because like
Yeah.
I think it's just they let the restaurants be open and they're like, oh, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. But it's like you still got to wear a mask to get in everywhere. So
Yeah.
I haven't noticed a huge change. You know.
So are you still on the road full time?
I mean, for what
Like,
our idea of the road is now, I mean, obviously live events aren't running, and they probably
yeah.
won't be for a little bit here. So, yeah, not really. No, nobody's on the road. It's been a weird year off, which I don't think anybody's had in a while.
No, and that's the thing. When I was talking to Natty a little while ago, it's like this impromptu year off that, you're probably never going to get again as a professional wrestler.
Never, or I mean, some people will never see that in a career. Like
No.
it's this insane thing. So it's tough. I think it's a lot of people kind of adjusting to not being out there, and you get into a rhythm, and you get synced to the road life, and you come back home, and it's going to be an adjustment process going
Oh.
back whenever it happens, because whoo, it's different speeds. It's different speeds.
Well, for our listeners, if you've been living under a rock and don't know anything about wrestling, Joe's been in the business for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
he's a professional transient nomad.
Yeah.
But you're also one of the most hardworking, steadfast people I've ever known. And, really, you could be a total dick if you wanted to, being as successful as you've been. But
Oh, I have my moments, like don't get me. I mean, don't get into it. I won't spin no mythology. Like, what a great guy! Like, I guarantee you, come my wake, there's gonna be a few guys going, you know what? He's kind of a jerk.
wow, fuck them. We're talking about me.
Yeah. You'll be cool. You'll be like, I hate that guy. He was wrong.
Well, to
It's not the
me,
man I knew.
yeah, they're lying, obviously. They don't know you the way I know you. But, truth be told, you were always so helpful in my career. My life, really, when we were on the road together. You were, always there for advice. You were a good sounding board. And from what I saw, you did the same always to the undercard guys or generally anyone under you. I'd say you're pretty loved across the board, really.
I appreciate it. Dang.
I think
Like,
so.
you know what? To be honest, there's a lot of people that will begrudgingly admit that, but
Yeah.
a lot of begrudging before that admitting comes.
Yeah, but whatever. It's wrestling. No one's gonna
Yeah,
be
it
like,
is.
"I love Joe," but I do, because I'm secure in my shit. So, and I also have different anatomy, so we're not in direct competition.
True. Yeah, you're out the pool, kid. You're okay.
But where does that generosity, big heart come from? Was it how you were raised? Is that how you came up in the business? You always looked after everyone underneath you.
I was fortunate on two fronts. The guy that broke me in, he was a kind of an independent. He was the quintessential journeyman. Just that guy that kind of got around and stuff. And his name was Cincinnati Red, and he was really instrumental in getting me a ton of work when I started out. And he was just being cool about it. Obviously, it was awesome for him because I was a student, and you could wrestle a student and put on his great show and do whatever. But at the same time, it helped me build a lot of relationships when I was just kind of breaking in and starting out in the business, and just kind of got my foot in the door and got me going. And aside from that, growing up with my family ran a Polynesian dance troupe for the better part of my entire life, and they still do run it. My brother has taken it over now.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and we lived on the road as children. Like from I think I started actively performing when I was 5 years old, and then from that time, there wasn't a time where we weren't on the road. But we went as a family. My father was an animate, didn't believe in having other people raise his kids, and babysitters are just unheard of. So he put us to work instead. So
child labor, no babysitters.
Yeah, I got some good child labor going. No, and me and all my brothers and sisters performed in the show, and just being on the road, you learn. I already had a good idea of the rigors of the road, the mental stress, and all the stuff that comes along with kind of being out there, and just the time changes, the lack of sleep, the unusual hours, all the craziness. And it was always so much better when there was just somebody who was just being cool. Like it's really not a real complicated concept. Just be cool. It's not about, I don't think I ever bought you all coffee or, whatever. But if there was coffee to be bought, everybody kind of took care of everybody. And, hey, if somebody broke down on the road, you knew you could call and somebody would be coming up maybe 15 minutes ahead, 15 minutes behind you, and they'd be there to scoop you up. And it's these are all real important aspects to, I think, just working together on the road, period. And
for sure.
It helps. It makes it just smoother, easier, and you get more done together. So you got to keep the wagon together.
Power in numbers. But I know you just glaze over that, and it sounds easy. Just be a good person. But I wouldn't say all people are made equal in this business, and I would say you're a leader in that, and I think you taught a lot of people to be good to each other.
Like being a dick is exhausting. Like it is.
Truth.
It takes so much effort, and anything, and I've seen guys and I see them live in this kind of constant state of paranoia because, they'll be an asshole in an effort to, kind of put their persona forward and, try to dominate a social situation or whatever. And then they're always kind of like looking over their shoulder, looking behind their back, looking for anybody with their knives out or who's talking trash about them, whatever. And it's a terrible way to exist, especially when, you're away from family, from home, you're out there on the road, you're kind of isolated with this group of people where you're going to be traveling with, and for the most part, seeing more than your actual family for the better part of your life. And if that's the case, I don't want to be paranoid and stressed out among that group of people if I got to spend that much time with them.
For sure.
And I think that's really the driving force for me. I mean, hey, it's cool to be cool. Don't get me wrong. That hasn't been lost on me. But I mean, the main reason is it's just that it's exhausting to exist like that and to be like that with your coworkers. And man, I've never seen it. I've never seen somebody be that way and like it work out. Yeah.
Agreed. No, I totally agree. But again, you're different. You're cut from a different cloth. So I just want to put that out there. And actually, now that I think of it, I'm just so inherently an introvert. All I ever wanted to do after the show was go to bed and not see people. Yeah,
you suck. You're the worst.
I'm so bad.
Hey, we're having all this fun. Oh, I'm a little sleepy though. I don't want anything to do with that.
Hey, we're in a new country.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we're in the middle of Portugal. I heard it's awesome. Oh, really cool. I'll read about it in a book. I'm just going to get some sleep now. Thanks. Bye.
Taylor Wilde, so wild.
Yeah, so wild. Oh, gotta get up in the morning. Gotta do some burpees. It's going to be awesome.
It's the truth. But in my life, you're the only one that has ever, pulled my ass to go out, and I'm happy to go out. I might kick and scream a little bit, but you're the only one that can do it.
Oh yeah, I'll let you throw your fit. It's like, seriously, you're not gonna go, well, I don't know, it's just all right, cool. Oh, God. Paris on a Friday night. I guess that sucks. I guess nobody wants to go out on that type of thing.
And then
middle of town.
I did go, and it was the best night ever.
Oh, it was awesome.
So good.
We got into all kinds of crazy stuff. It was nuts.
Thank God it went out.
Yeah.
Well, and then, the first time we went to Vegas was with TNA.
wow.
I
Yeah.
know. And I got sick like on my way down there. You know, shit
did.
you feel when you're on a plane and you start to get sick and everything hurts.
Oh, whoa! Vegas is now coming back to me. Holy crap! That was
Let's walk down that. Let's walk down.
wow. Okay. Whoa.
So I wasn't
Yeah.
feeling well. I took my ass
Okay.
to my room, washed my
Yeah.
makeup off, got into bed, and then
Yeah, you
you
did.
came beating on my door,
What are you doing?
ordered my ass off.
Yeah. I'm like, seriously, you're not sleeping. You're like, no, I don't. I just, all right, cool.
Here's a
Actually, I didn't even order you up. I really guilted you. I said, oh no, you know what? You should get some sleep. You know, it's like, you know, you're tired and stuff. You're all younger than me and tired and lame. So it's cool. All right, see you later.
here's a pack of smokes and a big
Yeah.
slushie from Ruby Tuesdays. Get the fuck off.
Yeah, get your act together, kid.
And then me being like wild and crazy, I set the alarm on my phone, just thinking, okay, I'm going to go out late with Joe. He's inevitably going to get drunk. So I better, you know, I don't want to sleep in, miss my flight.
No, you do not want to do that. It's a terrible thing to do.
So after my I'm not going out, I don't feel well, that
Yeah.
alarm went off while we were having some prolific drunken talk at a bar in a casino.
No, it was Carrie Hart's place, right?
Was that where we? Oh, yeah. Oh, I
think it
forgot
was.
about that.
Remember we got the table and the Hell's Angels and,
And
the
the
other stuff
and the phone number, and I
and the
called
phone number.
Carrie Hart.
Yeah, you called Carrie Hart and you were like marking out for him and going crazy.
I was like, "You don't eat pink."
Meanwhile, owner of the club was like, dude, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm like, shut up, let her do it. She's a big fan. She loves Carrie.
Carrie, I still love you. Fuck pink.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was like 4 a.m. too, which was also impressive. The gall for you to call Carrie Hart at 4 a.m.
I was sick. I'm not going out. I'm not calling Carrie Hart.
I'm sick. I'm not going out. And we end up in that back table. Oh man, yeah.
And-
So what? Yeah, the other thing that part. So we ended up going out, and I meet a good friend of mine who was I think he used to do security for somebody, Tito or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Or I think actually he used to be Jenna Jameson's security guard.
Yes, this rings a bell.
Yeah, and he was working Wasted Space at the time.
Yeah.
I think it was called.
Oh, right.
And we just happened to be walking by because we were doing the casino ramble, and I think he pulled us. Yeah, pulled us all. And I think a bunch of people joined us that night. Ended up joining us that night.
I think so.
It was a big rotating door of everybody and their grandmother, and
Remember a lot of dry ice, a lot of smoke.
yeah, a lot of dry ass. Around 3:00, the manager sat the 2 Hell's Angels with us. And said, "Oh, they just need to sit here and chill out for a minute. They ain't gonna drink." And I said, "Guys, just pour yourself a drink. I think we all know how it's gonna go down." And then you called Carrie Hart and lost your mind over the phone to him at 4 in the morning.
Oh,
So
God. It was a good night.
it was, yeah, you did. Whew, you all star that night. Let me tell you.
I remember when our alarm went off, and I think we even may have left our bags preemptively in the lobby
Yeah.
of the hotel.
Yeah, I remember as I walked down, I had gone to the front. I was like, "Here, listen, hold on to these and hand them back to me when I don't look like you should hand me anything." And they did.
I vaguely remember skipping hand in hand like 2 Care Bears,
Yeah.
and then finding Bubba Ray Dudley holding
Oh
up.
yeah, holding up the pillar in the casino, and Bubba was not well. Bubba had a similar night to us, but
But like, but alone.
but yeah, but probably in a very, very much deeper and darker version of Vegas than the one we were in. We were in a nice version of Vegas. We were in that happy party. We were in the like a PG-13 movie montage Vegas. You know, it's really, really
Totally.
good. Yeah, but he was in that. He was in that rated R Vegas downtown. I can tell you that much.
I would love to hear what Bubba did that night.
I don't know. There was another time too. I remember where we caught them and they were extremely embarrassed, and that was in New Orleans. And I believe we had walked by and caught him and Tommy Dreamer in a cafe with the whole entire menu ordered on the bar. And I remember Bubba looking at me and going, "Don't bring the girls in here and let them see this," because they were feasting. Like it was like they had made like Bubba and Dreamer had made a secret agreement before the trip. Like, we're gonna go to New Orleans. We're gonna go to the butteriest, most Cajun cafe there is, and we're gonna order everything. And they did, and we caught them, and they were not happy that we did. And they started trying to offer us stuff. "Oh, here, have some shrimp and grits. Oh, have you tried that etouffee here? This is great." We're like, "We don't want this stuff. What are you talking about?" Why are you guys eating all this right now? It's crazy.
Oh God, we're all such fucking freaks. I love it.
Yeah, it was a good, you know. We always managed to have a good time when we were out.
Did. So. And the other one I remember, I'm going to say it was like 2009. We were in Europe. We made it to Holland. We ended up on a smoke boat with Booker, Velvet, Borash.
I just remember our awesome Turkish driver.
Yes.
Who
broke us down in the cab.
Yeah, but also was driving, and I'd been on the Autobahn before, so I kind of knew what to expect. But,
okay.
You know, when you're in a Suzuki family fun van flying at like 120 mile per hour down the Autobahn, you know, just touring around the European countryside. I don't think I've ever seen you or Velvet grab onto a seat rest more tightly, like just terrified. And Adam, our awesome Turkish driver at the time.
You remember his name? You're
my name is Adam. I hope you all like me. I hope you all enjoy. Well, he had the best intro ever on the bus too. My name is Adam. I hope you all enjoy playing with me. But we all knew, you know, but the effort and the sincerity was like, we laughed with the effort and sincerity. Then I think from that day, I think we all loved Adam. And,
Adam was the man.
Yeah. Adam was the man.
Google translated the shit out of that.
Yeah.
But that night, do you remember? I don't even remember, because this is what happens when I go out. When you do get me out.
I feel this whole interview is you just like reconfirming what you forgot when we were out.
Welcome to my podcast.
Yeah.
I'll talk about wrestling in a minute.
All right, dude. Yeah, let me tell you, I had a wild life. Just let me get the folks on here who can tell you all about it, because I don't remember most of it. Woo! Wild on Europe.
Okay, whatever.
The one thing I do remember was in the evening, we walked out and we walked into like a Disneyland castle out of nowhere.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I remember ending up in
but here's the best part. It was this lovely, like, I mean, the architecture was ancient, but I mean the stone was preserved, and I mean it was this beautiful like medieval style, Renaissance era,
cobblestone.
Like,
yes,
yeah,
I do remember
marble,
that.
Stunning architecture, which you just come around the corner and then all of a sudden you're in this. And the best part, in the corner, McDonald's.
Yeah, yes. And you know, some of us assholes went, me not included.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. We had to make a stop there. Yeah. People definitely went to McDonald's.
People
but like it was just, but it killed me because it was just like this beautiful, I mean, ancient building, and they managed to fit a McDonald's in the corner.
Yeah. Obviously. No. You know what I remember of that night? I don't know if you remember, but I remember being in some underground seedy strip club, and the feature dancer did this captivating number to Rock Me Amadeus.
Oh, the Amadeus. Oh my goodness.
That's what I remember.
And I believe we stopped by the club because we were walking by it, and the music was so terrible. We had to see who in God's green earth could strip to this. And to those girls' credit, they found a way. But Amadeus was...
like that. I'll never forget when I hear that song. I cannot unsee it.
I wish some of us could. We were I mean, she may have been featured, but you know, she shouldn't have been. She was definitely
day shift working the night shift.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, whatever. We'll talk about wrestling. So I remember getting a few calls from you over the years. It's only been about, I don't know, 10 since I've been retired. Texts, should I say. We don't really call each other. Stop playing civilian and come back to work. But I've done it. Okay, I've done it. I'm coming back. I'm coming back now. It only took me 10 years. I had to get another job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I might be over my prime.
It's only been 10 years since you sent me that text, but it's cool. Keep looking at it.
It's really resonating now.
Yeah. Just looking at it, I'm going to show him. You just wait, dude.
I'll show you. What are your thoughts about, like, because you haven't stopped for a minute, and over 20 years you've been arguably on top of the game. And I think you've always have your finger on the pulse of everything that's going on in wrestling. What are your thoughts of my resurrection out of retirement in the climate of women's wrestling today?
Well, it's definitely a better time for you now than I think it's ever been. I think we both understand that. I think for women's wrestling in general, it's just a great time. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because you'll talk to some, women. Okay, as of right now, because of the way things are, now it's a terrible time to be in any kind of wrestling. But I think the scene in general and a lot of what we saw in these past, I'll say the past decade is, first of all, you saw consistent leagues show up across the United States and kind of a minor resurgence. I mean, obviously not all Japan women's like it was back in the day in Japan.
Yeah.
But you saw this minor resurgence of, Stardom, and I know there's a few other. I'm terrible. I feel like they come and go like every 4 or 5 years.
For sure.
But obviously there's kind of been a renewed interest, and I think the independent scene, both in North America in general, I guess, is it's much more accommodating to women than it used to be. Because I know the ratio when we were coming up on the indies, and I remember when we were on shows together.
Yeah.
The ratio was maybe you got maybe one match. Mm-hmm. If you had more girls than that, you'd have a multi-woman match with it's usually the promoter's girlfriend and her best friends again, and then they'd fly you in and Bonnie or Rain or somebody and they'd fly in some good workers to work with them, and that's kind of it's crappy job prospects, but from what I've seen now, I think women being featured more prominently, it's a different bag than it was when I was coming up in the indies.
And that's honestly one of the biggest reasons. Like, I had options over the past 10 years, but I truly didn't see the point. I was like, nothing is different. But I feel like now things are extremely different.
And some, especially if women who probably came in my era, just in general, and this, the level of skill is way above what it was 100 years ago.
For sure.
They're exceptional performers, don't get me wrong. But I think across the board, when you talk about the general quality of women's work now across the world, it has grown leaps and bounds, especially, in characters and just such different approaches to the female character than just, hey, there's a pretty girl who's a hero, and there's this big mean girl that's going to rip her hair out, and that's kind of been the essential basic kind of interplay that has always kind of been there. But now you're getting more complexity in characters, and like I said, and I know for you, it's tough to go out there and work with women who aren't as skilled, and you're getting beat up and stiffed, and things are going wrong, and that's not an issue now.
Some talent.
It ain't a game anymore. Like the game's, it's raised several levels, and it's an exciting thing to see.
Yeah, I agree. And like, you spent all those years going in and out of Japan, and that's a place that technically had the same system as North America. They took models from agencies, they taught them how to wrestle, like we do with the bigger companies here. But those girls were on a completely different level 10 years ago, 15 years ago. What do you think the disconnect was between North America and Japanese female wrestlers? Because it essentially was the same start.
I think it's the system, and I think it's a not that their system is perfect. Obviously, if you've spoken to any women who've been through the female Japanese dojo system, and especially certain dojos throughout the history and stuff, it's not an environment conducive to messing up or there being any mistakes or any kind of wavering from the game plan. It can be a really brutal environment.
Yeah.
But I feel with that, they have kind of established companies there where, they are in ways helping finance the girls' wrestling education. And, there's a level of commitment expected from them. It's a much more formal business arrangement between those girls and those companies as they start out than it is necessarily in the United States or North America, where, you're on your own. You go to wrestling school, you pay your school fee, you begin working and trying to get around to promoters, and you're pretty much solely responsible for your career. Whereas, kind of going into a dojo setup where there's a company and they're investing in you and trying I think it makes it easier for those women to focus on the craft.
Right.
When, they're not dealing with, I guess, all the micromanagement that goes into like starting a career if you're in the States.
So it's a better business model almost.
Yeah, and I like I said, I think it focuses more intensely on training. I think there's just a better general quality of training.
Yeah.
As far as the basics and their where they the mindset that they start the training from.
Yeah.
It's not, like I said, it's not a perfect system by any stretch of the imagination, but it does have its strengths as far as producing fantastic talent. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's evident in a lot of the women that you see now here that have made it big in North America. Like Asuka and Io Shirai, and it's
oh my God, Io Shirai, I've got such a friggin' crush on her. Like, she is next level. Like,
yeah.
I can't get enough of watching her matches. I think to myself, like, oh, I wish I was younger. And then I wikied her and I was like, no, she's my age. I gotta step that training up.
Yeah. She stayed in it, kid. Come on now.
Hey, I'm getting my ass back into it. But you know what? It's funny. 10 years could be a long time for most people, but it's like riding a bicycle. It's always there. Just the rust has to come off. The cardio's gotta come back.
You haven't been inactive during that time.
No.
That's good. I think that's the main thing, because I've seen some other comebacks start when they've been active for a little bit too long, and it ain't really that better. It's not really much of a comeback. It's more of a come on by when you get here.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I think I can approach wrestling completely different from a physical standpoint, because when I came up in the business before, it was, still very much the divas era. So my training was based for aesthetic appeal. And, I'm a short, stocky Polish girl. And so, a lot of caffeine and cigarettes, model diet to stay healthy. And
the old Toronto breakfast.
just a Tim's and a smoke there.
Yeah, Tim's and a smoke there. The old Toronto model breakfast,
Whatever worked, but but now completely different, and I'm thankful that I'm healthier mentally and physically, and I think firefighting's made a big difference for me, because I had to go to that functional training. You can't be starving anymore, and frig, with the climate now, with your Japanese girls coming in and tearing it up, contending with the boys. I'm glad I'm off the ciggies and the Tims.
Yeah. And by the way, why did it take you so damn long? I mean,
okay,
cigarettes, gross. Like, who still smokes cigarettes?
Okay,
like,
I haven't touched a cigarette since I was 24. I'm 34.
Okay, all right.
I quit when I retired, because that makes sense.
I did.
No, cigarettes are disgusting, and moreover, who could afford that shit?
Especially lately. I mean, those things cost more than gold these days.
Yeah. Like, you guys don't have the reserves out there to get your smokes from the native smoke shack. You guys got to pay full price.
Hey, we do what we can.
But, going back to you always helping the people under you and having a pulse on what's going on. And like I said, you were always a help to me. You were a good sounding board when it came to life chats, whether it was shit going on outside the ring, inside the ring. But one thing I'll say about you is, like, you have such an eye for detail and nuances. And when I had my first match with Awesome Kong, when I was the fan, and I fought my way out from the audience, I was like, Joe, what can I do? What can I do to make this moment like bigger than kind of already is, this David and Goliath story? And you said, fight your way in. When you get in the ring, slap that ring like a sumo wrestler and like fire up. And you made that moment iconic. Like, I feel like that moment wouldn't have been as big if you didn't give me that. And I feel like I never really thanked you for it. So I just want to point that out. Thank you for the slap.
No, no worries. Well, I mean, like stuff like that. Like, you know, I want to see. I want to see things like that. I want to see those moments. I want to see it work out. Because I mean, in general, when you have a hot program, you know, and people are tuning in, or they're digging it, or they're vibing with it, you know, that's great for everybody,
Right?
And it's always kind of boggled my mind. But you know, at times there's been this saboteur-like mentality at times when it comes to people's things, like, I hope that don't work out. I mean, not necessarily that people are trying to actually go out there and do it, but like, you know, they don't hope the best for things.
Agreed.
And a lot of times, you know, we're handed, and I think this is kind of that dividing line between people who are extremely good at what we do and those who are great, is that, you know, no great memorable segment probably in history was ever written perfectly, performed perfectly. It was probably written one way, but the performance came by another way. It was, you know, there's so much nuance and so much change that goes on in the creative process because it's in a lot of people's hands, and invariably it lands in the performer's hands at the time. So if you can do everything you can to maximize those moments and make those, those things that when people are at home and they watch it and you know, they kind of go, "Ooh, that's cool." You know, that little kind of goosebumpy vibe, rush.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we create. I mean, that's what we're selling to people, and I gladly peddle that to people because that's how I want you to feel. I want there to be that excitement, and you know, we communicate far more with our body than we do with our mouth. You know,
right.
And it's said often, but not enough, and not appreciated enough. And, you know, body communication, how the body moves and how the body communicates is something that I think all wrestlers need to pay attention to. And you should be watching, you know, facial tics and, you know, how people express themselves. It's not, doesn't take that long, especially not YouTube. I mean, it's just a couple of videos.
Oh,
I used to have to buy books and stuff, you know? And, you know, now all the information out here. Yeah, books.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, you know, so like I said, I stuff like that I don't mind at all because for me the satisfaction is not in being thanked, although I appreciate it. The satisfaction was that I got to witness this awesome moment. It was cool, and the energy was dope in the building, and it was awesome, and it was the big thing. We're like, all right, cool. Now we got some business cooking. You know? and that's it makes the environment better. It makes the performers more excited about, you know, doing what they do. And there is one-upsmanship in the locker room. You've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, so that hits. And, you know, people at the monitor are like, all right, well, now we got to go out there, you know, and start gearing up the shoulder.
Okay, we're stretching now.
Yeah. Start stretching a little bit more and running in place a little bit. And you go out there and you try to, you know, do better than what they set forth. And And so, it was a cool thing, man. No worries. Anytime.
No, I appreciate it. And I'm probably going to call you or FaceTime you now because we can do that moving forward. Because you know, that was a big learning moment for me because, you know, I'd made it that far. The mechanics were there. But, you know, I think having someone that can oversee those little nuances, not everybody has that gift. So.
A lot of hula dancing, man. Let me tell you.
That Polynesian dance, man. That's all I missed.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What's the 5-year plan? What's up?
I mean, I think, you know, as of right now, I'm enjoying you know, commentary on Raw, and it's been a fun challenge. It's something very, very new, and I'm enjoying that. You know, obviously, am I done in the ring? By no means.
Never.
I think right now I'm just I'm kind of exploring things and seeing how I feel about things. And aside from that, you know, doing a lot of voice acting lately. It's kind of fun and cool, and it's a very enjoyable thing. So some projects on the horizon, project coming out pretty soon with Warner Brothers, and it's a cool thing, man. I'm very, very fortunate, and I'm very, very happy that I'm doing the things that I'm doing right now.
That's exciting. You say fortunate, but I know you, man. You never stop. You are always working your ass off. You are always hustling. You've got a good mind. Like, that's a testament.
Well, and it really, if I had any message to anybody, I think that's just, everybody needs to be doing that. You know, even in wrestling, you know, you got to have
Yep.
Step 2, step 3, plan down the pipe, and,
Yep.
and don't think the things that seem outlandish and ridiculous are so outlandish or ridiculous, because and I think you can speak to this. You think it's getting to where you've gotten to, getting to where I've gotten to is this very intangible dream, and it is a very, very difficult thing. It's a difficult road. Small percentage, the odds are not in your favor, but if you got your acts together,
yeah.
and you're the truth, and you got the skills and the ability, think big with that skill and ability, and think long term, because this can be a very, very wonderful ride, or a very, very terrible one. It just depends on how you manage it. And know that you're in charge of managing it, because nobody's going to manage it for you.
For sure,
it'll get away from you quick.
And that's something else you taught me. Like, I think being young, 20, it's debatable if it's young or not. I was just so willing to be like, yeah, I'll sign that. Great. That sounds good. Sign my life away. You got nothing for me. Perfect. You never took the first offer, and I didn't. I never had. I sound stupid, but I didn't have that management. Like, I didn't come from a business-minded family. I did
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing with young wrestlers coming up.
Yeah.
Is they don't think of themselves as a business,
right?
And I wish they would, because even the companies that want to deal with you, WWE, if you think of yourself as a business and you got your act together, AEW, WWE, it makes it easier for them to transition you over and do business with you, because now they understand, they know, and I think that's the biggest thing is that you need to run your career like a business. If it's gonna be a hobby and a weekend warrior thing, that is absolutely cool, and I know some great wrestlers that is what it is to them in their life.
Right.
But if you're serious about like a full-time gig and career in this, you gotta think of yourself as a business. You gotta think of the way you act at shows, and like being professional is not being stuck up or a nerd or whatever, or overly thank you and appreciative, and it's just showing up on time, being pleasant, doing what you're asked, putting on a great show. And leaving, like it's. I mean, there's no secret. How should I shake everybody's hand? Should I this? I go, go in there. Shake hands with people. That are open to it. Not everybody wants to shake your hand. Trust me. It's like, I think that's a weird,
totally
thing too. Yeah. If if you don't want to shake my hand, I don't want to shake your hand. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. That's cool. At the same time, there are men in this industry, there are women in this industry that, they deserve respect, and they deserve being, going over there, get a nod. And it's good to have a relationship with them, because, as you'll attest to, sometimes, those people's opinions still carry a lot of weight. Yeah. It may not carry weight all the way up to WWE, but it might carry weight to the next promoter, who then you'll meet somebody who their opinion will carry weight. And it's always good to keep that in mind, that like this is a very interconnected community too. And you're not going to get away from it. I mean, you try to get away from it for 10 years, and look, here you are, back here. Ta-da. Right back where you started. No.
From the beginning.
But it's true. So, you're going to see the same people on the way up as you do on the way down, and it is the absolute truth.
That is the biggest thing. Like, I don't know if I learned it in wrestling, or I must have been wrestling, but your asses on the way up, when you're hitting every rung on the way down, they're waiting. They're there. Yeah. They're there to catch you. So
it didn't work out, huh? Oh, that's cool. Wow. So Vince didn't like you, huh? Head too big. I figured that must have been
it. Didn't fit through the door. Oh.
Didn't fit through the door. Okay. Yeah, I knew that.
It's the little things. It's the little things that people just overlook, but all those little things matter. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I thank you greatly.
You're very, very welcome.
I always do this speed round at the end of every episode. It's 10 tailor-made questions. And I haven't done it with any of my male guests. And that's the other thing. In the beginning of this episode, I will do our big build-up of how we know each other and how great you are and all that other stuff. But I always do this with the women, and I haven't done it with the men for this series. So you're the first one. I expect big things.
All right.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Name one beauty product you can't live without.
Ooh, as of right now, with my new Luscious Locks leave-in conditioner.
A brand? Do you have a brand?
No, I don't know. I think I call it Pink Bottle. Give me that pink bottle. Give me that pink bottle.
Is it Slow Glow?
It might be. It might be.
Okay. What is your favorite exercise?
My favorite exercise? Who? I don't know. Probably leg press.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your...
Just because everybody goes deadlifts. And that's just lame.
You'd be really...
Deadlift.
Squat.
I deadlift barefoot. A lot of chalk. I mean, it's not very heavy, but, you know, I got good grip, so it's cool.
Chest press. I wear the shirt.
Yeah. I wear the shirt. No big deal.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
Right now, the overuse of the terms literally and basically.
Is it literally or literally?
Either or. You can put the French twist on it if you want. It's still just annoying as shit when I keep hearing it from people when it's not literally that. And it's not basically anything you're talking about. Because what you're talking about is actually very complicated. Basically, you take the flange, work it around the back end, and then you tie it off here. And then if you got 2 hydraulic pumps, you got to set them to about like 46 PSI. Put them in the thing, and that's basically it. Yeah, come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens when you read. You hear those things. Do you still read a shit ton?
Yeah, I do. Not as much as I used to.
Or Audible?
Yeah, because it got the subscription thing. So I forget about my credits. And then and then I started downloading the dumb. I hate it now because now some books that I probably would stop reading a lot earlier, the voice acting will kind of get me entranced, and then I'm halfway through the book. I'm like, this is terrible. I can't. Damn it. This is a horrible, horrible book, and this English dude is not helping it any. I thought I had a lot of faith in him that he would make this not boring, but it's a terrible book.
That makes all the difference. The reader. Yeah. I feel like you would really like Tiffany Haddish's biography, The One Black Unicorn.
Ooh, I heard stuff about it. I just got done actually listening to Kevin Hart's, which I'm not. I put it off for a while, but it was pretty funny. But yeah, Tiffany might be next on the list.
Yeah, she reads it, so it's you'll like it. Okay, who is your celebrity crush?
Charlize Theron.
What is your favorite band or artist?
That is an impossible question.
Loaded.
No, you've seen the iPod.
Oh, I know. Okay, top three.
Sublime. Man, this is the top three. I'll go Wu-Tang just because I like the cipherish nature of it.
Yep.
And
classic. One more.
One more. I don't Dick Dale just because his music was always around me and living in California and stuff. So
cool. I was gonna say your answers are so Cali, but whatever. Do you have a secret vice?
A secret vice?
Yeah. Drinking a glass of wine in the shower.
No, you didn't know. Most of my vices are pretty public to people who know me.
True.
Secret vice?
No comment?
No. I don't really think I got one. I'm not really.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm not really shameful about the things I like.
I was gonna say, not really secretive, dude.
I've been told I should be, but.
Hey Joe, wind your vices in, will ya?
Yeah. You rolling back in a little bit, kid.
What wrestler has the best entrance music?
Ooh. I think, dude, Nakamura, especially that initial run. I remember when he got that music, I was like,
that's it.
He's all rock star now. I got brother playing the violin. See, here's the worst part is that he came out before me to this amazing intro. I mean, just the violin, and he's looking cool and just coming in there. And I remember I was standing at the curtain. I'm like, all right, well, here I go. Like crowds on their feet, people crying, holding up their babies. It's like, and then it's like, oh, well, I'm going to go get them. Hit my music.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What is your drink of choice?
Normally vodka.
Okay.
Normally vodka.
Just vodka on vodka, or?
Yeah, I've become a reductionist. Before it was like, like vodka cranberry, a little bit sweet, whatever, gentleman's drink, whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, back then I'll do tonic, a little bit more of a gentleman's drink. But tonic kind of gets my stomach upset. Do vodka water, because that's what all the girls do, because they're not trying to get no extra carbs. So then it's like, oh yeah, we got water. You know what I mean? Like the late night catering, like, we're out of mixers. What do you guys got? Oh, we just got regular water.
Delicious.
And then, but I've really been getting into whiskeys, bourbons lately.
Coming of age, Joe.
You know what it was? I just had a good buddy who actually understands great whiskey and bourbons, and he, honestly, anything. If you just get a little bit of a primer, like, all right, what am I looking for? Like, and now I'm quite the single malt son of a bitch.
Fancy.
Yeah.
What was your most embarrassing moment in the ring? Like, this is the time where usually my female guests talk about a nip slip, but do you have anything embarrassing you can share?
I'm trying to think of something good.
A ball slip isn't as funny.
No, it's not embarrassing. Like, oh, look what happened. Like, we just take it different. Like, well, whoops. I guess that's out there. What's to do? Hide the kids' eyes, boys. I think, I do. Okay. So, at one time when I was working in 01 in Japan, one of our guys did this big Bruiser Brody type entrance, and he would just start trashing the venue. And when it was TV, when it was a nicer, like, Cork and Hall or something, he'd be a little bit more restrained. But, when we get out in some of these more rural towns, he'd go wild. So as a gag, we'd all try to like follow behind his like path of destruction and do like mini path of destruction. Just and it, like nobody saw it. Everybody, everybody in the arena is watching. Big Sylvester Turkey, who was playing a very King Kong Brody type character,
right.
Just rampaging through, and it'd be either me or Carino or C.W. Anderson or somebody like falling behind him doing a very bad, like small King Kong impression. And I remember I was with tagged with Sylvester. He was coming down the bleachers, and he was, throwing people and whipping the chain around, and everybody's huss, and it's going crazy. And I remember I went to like kind of jump up on a riser, like to look all cool and stuff. And right when I got there, it was slippery, and you just like, as it was described to me, they saw me jump up, and my head was there, and then my feet were there, and I wasn't there. And I think I like hit, like rolled down like 2-3 steps, and I remember like it was a 6-man tag, and I had like tag in second. I was like, "Nah, man, stand for a minute, man. I gotta work this one out." Like, I think I actually dropped off the apron. It's like rubbing out like a knot that I got in my back. Like, oh.
Well, you are such a delicate flower. I'm sure that didn't make any noise at all.
Oh yeah. Well, the poor family whose tatami mats that I had slipped on, they were. Because I think when I slipped on the tatami mat, I kicked it out into the audience, and it was like, well, there goes your tatami mat, dog. Sorry, like my bad.
Their life flashed before them.
Yeah. It was probably like some family heirloom mat they've had for years. Just
sorry.
Yeah, my bad. Simasen.
Okay, finish this lyric. I picked something that made me think of you from our time together. Okay. Mm-hmm. Who the fuck you think you're fucking with? I'm the fucking boss.
You might as well give him a little explanation behind this.
No, you go.
You might as well give him a little explanation behind this. No. You might as well give him a little explanation behind this.
Why?
Please. Good, please.
What, when we were on the road?
Yeah.
Who was in the back with me? Sanjay.
Yeah.
Sanjay, I started singing this song with Sanjay, and he turned around like I had fucking 6 heads, and he was like, oh,
you know this jam?
No one told me Chantal was down.
Yeah, down.
What, just because I'm white and Canadian? I don't know what's up.
Well, and it surprised us. We were looking at Sanjay like, we didn't realize. We didn't realize it was that. Well, oh, okay. I don't know we were all down, and okay, cool, Sanjay.
You mean because I know music? I know some Fleetwood Mac too, but no.
Oh, she listened to hip hop. Oh, man. I thought you were a Max Boss 20 girl.